Have you ever wondered why what was once called adult-onset diabetes is now referred to as type 2 diabetes? It's because it's no longer just adults who are getting it. More and more children and teenagers are now being diagnosed with what we now call type 2 diabetes, a disease once seen almost exclusively in middle-aged adults. So what changed? Today, we're diving deep into how our modern food system, government dietary advice, and even Big Pharma all played a role in creating this health crisis, and what we can actually do about it. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this in the future. For decades, the term adult-onset diabetes made sense. It developed gradually, often in people over 40. But in the late 20th century, something alarming happened. Doctors began diagnosing it in teenagers, then in kids as young as 8. By the early 2000s, the medical community had to admit the old name didn't fit anymore. So, adult-onset diabetes became type 2 diabetes, a quiet but powerful signal that our metabolic health as a society was spiraling downward. Now, to be clear, type 1 diabetes is very different. Type 1 is an autoimmune condition where the body's immune system destroys the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. It's not caused by diet or lifestyle. People with type 1 require insulin for survival. Type 2, on the other hand, develops over time as the body becomes resistant to insulin, a problem strongly linked to diet, inactivity, and excess processed food consumption. So how did we get here? Let's start with the food industry. Highly processed, hyperpalatable foods, loaded with sugar, refined grains, and seed oils, are engineered to keep us eating more. They're cheap to produce, easy to market, and insanely profitable. And make no mistake, the goal isn't your health, it's your addiction. Then there's government dietary advice. For decades, we were told to avoid fat and base our diets on grains and carbohydrates. That guidance, supported by industry lobbying, instead of solid science, led millions to replace natural whole foods, eggs, meat, butter, with low-fat processed snacks and sugary breakfast cereals. The result? Rising rates of obesity, metabolic syndrome, and of course, type 2 diabetes. And finally, the pharmaceutical industry. While countless drugs have been developed to manage blood sugar, very few address the root cause: insulin resistance driven by poor diet and lifestyle. Big Pharma profits when people stay sick, not when they heal. Our so-called healthcare system is more accurately described as a sick care system. So instead of promoting prevention through nutrition, the focus shifted to lifelong management through medication. The truth is, type 2 diabetes isn't inevitable. It's largely preventable, and in many cases, reversible. The solution doesn't come from a pill bottle, but from our kitchens and our daily choices. By cutting out processed foods and returning to natural, whole foods, meats, fish, eggs, healthy fats, and low-carb vegetables, we can restore metabolic balance. Combine that with regular physical activity, especially resistance training and high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, and we can dramatically improve insulin sensitivity and overall health. There isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, but there are proven frameworks that work. Low-carb approaches like keto and carnivore have shown remarkable results in lowering blood sugar, reducing inflammation, and improving energy. At the same time, natural, whole food-based diets like those found in the blue zones, places like Sardinia and Okinawa, also support longevity and metabolic health, even though they include more carbs. What these diets all share is key. They're based on real, unprocessed food, not factory-made products designed to keep you hungry. So maybe it's time we stop calling it type 2 diabetes and start calling it what it really is: a lifestyle-induced metabolic disorder fueled by profit-driven food and pharma industries. But the power to change it lies in our hands. Choose real food, move your body, and reclaim your health. Because the best medicine for diabetes isn't found in a prescription, it's found on your plate.